So, oh, it's private. Hello. So we're gonna try Final Fantasy again on this. If it doesn't work, we'll try a lighter game and see if that helps. I don't know. David says he thinks it was Streamlabs, so. So. Yes, we're sure trying. Oh, nope, let's put that above there. Oop. Now, yes. Oh, that's why. Aha! Reach the Let me turn that game down. You are not receiving enough smooth video to maintain smooth streaming. So, we're not going to do that. Axe that. What we will do. Hey, do you remember what was it called? It was called. Since the games aren't working, what we're gonna do is Do you guys remember this website? What was it called? Was it Stumble Upon? I remember when I was a kid, I loved it. Is that still up? Okay, so Stumble Upon is now called Mix. See? It wasn't Streamlabs. Okay, so we're gonna do this. Yes. Wait, no. It's not showing you the right thing. Also, it's really laggy. Again. My god, and there's like actually people here. um I don't know. I'm gonna type. Wait. No, instead of doing browser, I'll do this. Boop. You missed me trying and failing to do anything on this. I'm trying to figure out. That might help. But also, like, it's not even able to do, like, the internet right now. Wait, what does open widget? Dude. I can read you guys a book or something. would y'all be into that? What else am I supposed to do? Nothing's working. Sorry, that was probably very jarring to listen to in your ears. What is the last movie I watched? Smart House. Wait, no. Hold on. Yes, that's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about Smart House. Smart House is, at its core, I firmly believe it is about the illusion of having a trad cath wife. And how that could never actually work out. Because Smart House, or is it called Smart Home? Smart. No, it's Smart House. That was the last movie I watched on Tuesday night after I did the Jack Saint stream. I got really wasted and watched Smart House. Which so okay, I do have takes about Smart House. One, did you know that the woman who plays Pat, the Smart House, voices Leela on Futurama? Because if you didn't, now you do, and you won't be able to not hear it. Also, about Smart House, the little girl, what was the little girl? Sarah? No, Sarah was the scientist. Wait, why is Ben mad about season 7, episode 1 of Venture Bros? I don't remember what happens. Hold on.
You don't remember that episode by number?
Hold on. And then we'll get back to Smart House, I promise. See, why was I trying to play games and stuff? I have ADHD. I can talk for hours about anything. Episode 1. Oops. Venture Bros. Oh, that's... Oh. That's the one where the problem button comes back. The cats, they're sleeping somewhere, I think. Yes, he's probably just... Sorry. He's probably just very, irritated in a, I'm assuming in a happy way, about how they brought the problem button yet. David, they want to see boys. Can you go get boys? I'm busy being a big YouTube celebrity.
I got 50 likes today.
Did you dress Loki up as bread? No. I didn't. He does like his bread bed though. Which one have you acquired? We've acquired a boy. Ooh, here's one. Yeah, celebrity. What do you have to say about that, Loki? That's it? Those are your thoughts?
I think that Biden is stealing the election.
Loki would never say that.
What the hell?
Yes, a super secret husband reveal. That is my husband. His name is David. If you didn't know. Um Loki would be a fabulous president. What was I talking about? Smart House. Okay. So the little girl in Smart House had big is going to grow up to be a lesbian vibes. Is that cancelable to say that? No. Right? She just looked like a future lesbian. Sorry if that's a yikes. I see I had all these smart home takes. Smart house. Mostly just like the trad wife thing. And it's the I don't know how recently you guys have watched the film Smart House, but the end is so sad. It's basically they do the equivalent of giving a 60s housewife a lobotomy. Because they take this woman, well, she's a program, she's an AI, but I know, Ray, shut up. They take this woman, this AI, and they tell her what it's they give her free will basically and like emotions and stuff, and she gets attached to this family, and she's like, you know, I just want to protect this family no matter what it takes. And then at the end what they do is basically just like nuke her brain to make her submissive again. And it's very sad. Like she makes the big storm and tries to like tries to like touch the boy's Kyle Luck of the Irish's face, and it like goes through, and it's really sad. And she like realizes that she'll never be a real boy. I don't know. Smart House is kind of a messed up movie. That's my take. That's my Smart House take. The town I grew up in was very Stepford Wives. You've been there, Rachel. It's very much so like that. What else can I talk about? So I watched Smart House. What else have I recently watched? Oh, we finished Bly Manor, which was, it was okay. I still think I like Hill House more, which seems like a hot take these days. Do I identify with Old Bay Spice still? Um, as a native Marylander, I think there'll always be a part of me that identifies with Old Bay Spice. But How does the fact Pat is technologically advanced but socially old affect your viewing? You didn't like Bly Manor, Ray? I liked it. I thought the rapper story with the wedding was stupid. But other than that, it was okay. It had some good bits. There were a lot of things that didn't go anywhere, I felt like. Like, I felt like the fiance with the glowy eyes, they just kind of dropped that. Which I get, like, it was like, oh, well, now she has, like, a real love or whatever, maybe. I don't know. That was stupid. And I think I don't know, the rapper story was really bad. It just really confused me. Also, it had a bit of a bury your gays thing going on, which, as we all know, isn't a fun trope. So back to the question about Pat being technologically advanced but socially old. You know, that's something I hadn't really taken. I don't know, that's an interesting point to bring up. Well, she's more socially old because the kid, I'm just going to call him Max because every kid in every movie around that time was named Max. Because the kid Max was like feeding him videos of like old like domestic housewives, like Leave It to Beaver and stuff like that. So he kind of did that to her. Actually, that's kind of messed up because he like built, or he mostly Max built this entire built like this like she was a clean slate, and then they built her personality, and then when she acted on that personality, they were like, oh no, we need to nuke this right away. And like, it's kind of like how to rape her hot take, it's kind of like parents filling in your personality growing up until it gets too strong, and then they decide they don't like it anymore. That's on my mind because I've been playing so much Persona 5. I thought I would finish it today, and I was doing the final boss of the big god thing with the different sins. And then, yes, you're right, Rachel. And then right as I was finishing the big final boss, it killed Joker. And this was after about a half hour of fighting this same boss. So I turned it off, and we will try again tomorrow. But that game's too long. What else have I been up to? Yes. That's, yeah, basically. Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. Civil War week by week. Which is what reminded me of Persona, because that's sort of a theme in Persona 5 too. So when I went and bought Persona 5, I did not know that Persona 5 and Persona 5 Royal were like different games, so I just bought Persona 5, and who knew that Royal has super hot human Morgana in it? Hi, Hoshi. Like, David showed me a picture the other day. Wait, hold on. Y'all haven't seen this? What? human Morgana looks like. I talk as if people give a care. Look. There's a way better way to do this. But it's messed up. Wait, why oh no? Is it because I'm simping for the cartoon cat? Oh no. Same. Ugh. What else? Oh, I just finished The Count of Monte Cristo. You know what? If people want shitty makeup tutorials to come back, I'll bring them back. It's really hard to make them over 10 minutes though, and YouTube doesn't like that. But if you want them back, I can bring them back. Yeah. I recently finished The Count of Monte Cristo, which I thought was just like, I don't know, it was really riveting, I guess. Not to sound like pretentious, but it was the first book in a while, which I say in a while as if this book isn't 200 years old, but it was the first book that I've read in a while that I wasn't like, that I was like, didn't want to put it down. Like, and like, yeah, it had all the like Victorian fiction cliches and stuff. And yeah, like Valentine and Maximilian are the most boring characters in the world. But like, for every Valentine, there's Albert. And I die for Albert. And who else was cool? I found this blog on Tumblr a couple months ago. That's how long I've been reading this book. And I'm gonna butcher the name. The main villain in Monte Cristo. I've been saying Villefort, him, but this Tumblr blog was completely dedicated to simping for the main antagonist in Count of Monte Cristo, which was very funny. She was like very thirsty for this fictional bastard man from 1875 or whenever that book came out. Oh yeah, he's mad about the problem light. Sorry, that was off topic. It's very bad stream etiquette to look at my phone and then comment about something that's on my phone. Juno Birch. I'm a sucker for a delusion of grandeur. You know what? So am I, as evidenced by this. I don't know. I was saying this earlier, but since I'm going back to uploading only every other week, if I did streams like this, just like hang out on the weeks where I don't upload, would y'all be into that? Or, I mean, obviously, hopefully it would get better than this as time went on. This is literally my first time streaming ever. I tried to do it on Twitch once, and it was to similar results. But I don't know, if I could get a better computer or something for streaming. A rig. And this is like, how do people, because like the camera's here, but the thing is here. Oh god, it's hard to like look at you guys and then read the chat. See, that's why I liked Streamlabs, because it had the chat right next to the thing. I'm probably going to use Streamlabs from now on. Hell yeah. Yeah, and then maybe someday I could even like actually play games and stuff. I don't know. I know like tops this has gotten like 10 concurrent viewers, but that's still more than I was expecting. Am I not supposed to make eye contact? Or wait, what's the illusion? Anyways, the fact that I even had more than one person in here makes it a bigger success than I thought it would be. We had Icon in here earlier, which was fun. Met Icon in the Jack Saint stream. Cool guy. Hell yes. I also stan Ellen. Paige. Zing. You could see the grimace starting as I was telling the joke, because I realized it was bad halfway through. Oh my god, speaking of bad jokes, I started an improv class. That's something that's been going on. Guys, this is great. This is like, I can just like, this is all I've wanted, is a captive audience my entire life. I shouldn't say that. No. Shoot, what was I saying? Oh yeah, I started an improv class. And at first I was like, well, I signed up for, it was like $50. I signed up for it in a very weak moment. It was like 1 a.m. It was sad boy hours. I was lonely, and I Googled virtual improv classes, and I found this class offered by this comedy club that I went and saw Curtis Connor at once. And so I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun. And then the next morning I immediately regretted the decision, because it's an improv class. But then I was like, maybe it'll be fun. Maybe I'll meet some people. Maybe it'll be cool. First thing the instructor says when we get into the Zoom call is, what's up, guys? This is gonna be freaking awesome. And I almost just left. Like there, I was like, oh god, I can't handle this. And then there's this woman who calls in from Taiwan, I believe, because she used to live in New York City and she recently moved back to Taiwan. And I'm not gonna say what her name is, because I'm not gonna dox people. But so when she calls in, it's like 7 a.m. where it's 7 p.m. for us, which isn't relevant to the story. I don't know why I said that, but she's very funny. And the instructor, for some reason, only calls her by her full name. Is that, like, am I, I'm not sure why. Yeah, sure, make the yes and joke. And there was another woman. Oh, I felt so bad for her. We were like talking about, we're like, why are we taking this class? Like, blah, blah, blah. We're like, half the people are like, I'm trying to improve my acting skills. And I'm like, I have depression. Yes. Yes, both of you, Rachel and Ray. But no one else calls her by her whole name. I don't know. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, this poor woman. And we're like, why this class now? And she's like, well, right before coronavirus hit, I I quit my job to pursue acting. And then coronavirus happened. And I was like, that may be the saddest story ever told. And now you're taking this $50 once a week for 4 weeks improv class over Zoom. Like, it was just very sad. Who else is in the improv class? The most gorgeous woman I've ever seen in my life is in the improv class. First thing she said, she was like, oh, I do commercials. And I was like, girl, I can tell. You're gorgeous. There's a fitness trainer in it who is taking the class to improve his interpersonal skills, which I thought was neat. That's probably the most valid reason to take an improv class, if I'm being honest. I'm almost out of beer. I might go get another beer. I can't believe I actually got a couple subs from doing this. That's your own panel in the Zoom call. Yes. Yes. That's... You know what? Actually, I take it back. Depression is the most valid reason to take an improv class. Oh, we're halfway done. Like, it's only a 4-week class. It's on Mondays for like an hour, which is why I wasn't there wasn't too much post-purchase regret from that, because it's not that much. Oh, here's something I want y'all's opinion on. So there's this orange cat that hangs around our building. David and I have started calling her Neighborhood Watch. She and she's very thin and she's very dirty, so we assumed that she was a stray. And she's very friendly. Like, she'll come up, rub up against you, let her pet her. And so we were like, okay, well, we should take her in, at least take her to the vet, get her looked at. But then I text our downstairs neighbor, and I was like, yes, David has named her Jessica. But then I texted our downstairs neighbor, and I was like, hey, you know that orange cat that hangs around our house do you know if she has, like, a family? Because I don't want to steal someone's cat. And he responds, he was like, oh, I'm not sure. Oh, Loki's about to make a star appearance. He hears me talking about other cats. He was like, oh, I don't know, like, she's very friendly. I think she might belong to the people next door. So now I'm like, oh, well, shit, maybe she belongs to the people next door. So, stop that. Sorry, there's some bad boy behavior happening over here. So now we're trying to figure out if this cat belongs to the next door neighbors, and I'm like, well, if she does, they're taking very poor care of her. And now twice now we have run into the next door neighbors and have not asked if the cat is theirs. But we just need to do it. We just need to grow a pair and do it. Anyways, so I don't know. What's your take? Do we take in Neighborhood Watch, or do we let her keep roaming free, or living with the people next door, or what's It's quite the conundrum. We also have 2 cats, and our apartment is not big, so 3 might be too many. But we still, like, we wanted to at least take her to the vet and, like, see if we could find her a home, even if we couldn't take her in. But yeah. Try to. Yeah, one of us just needs to grow the balls to actually ask. Because, like, we have seen their kids playing with her, but also, like, they might just be playing with the stray cat. But we'll see. We'll ask. We'll ask. Loki is being a real bad boy over here. I wish I could move my webcam and show you, but I kind of can't. He's rolling around. He's like, I hear you talking about that hoe Jessica. When you got all this to hang out with? I was thinking about asking the kids. She does not have a collar. Yeah, I mean, Loki was a stray. Now he's scared of outside. We ruined this cat. I like the t-shirt idea. Disc curl yours. I don't know. I might be boot, scoot, and boogieing out of here soon. Speaking of boot, scoot, and boogie, I just remembered the other day, I don't know, I'm assuming the audience for my channel does not overlap very much with the country music audience, but do any of y'all remember the song Honky Tonk Badonky Donk? Well, it's like, the honky tonk badonky donk. I was remembering how when that song first came out, my mom hated it. And she would, like, change the radio station and wouldn't let us listen to it. And I'm trying to figure out why. I mean, yeah, like, now I'm like, oh, it's, like, misogynistic or whatever. But I doubt that's the reason she didn't like it. And I remember going to my friend's birthday party. She was, like, 10. No, it was older than that. No, we were, like, in middle school. So it was, like, no, it was her 13th birthday party because she rented out, like, a big thing, right? And I remember them playing, yeah, like, it's not a good song, but I just thought it was very weird. Like, if you knew my mother, you would think it was very weird that she didn't like this song. And they played this song at this birthday party, and I remember my mom just, was she there? Yes, because these were, like, close family friends. I remember her just, like, sitting there, like, fuming. I took the opportunity to finally be free and dance to the honky tonk badonky donk. It is a song about a butt. Got going on like Donkey Kong. Ooh, maybe she didn't like the slap your grandma part, because that's elder abuse. It's very strange because I grew up in a house, or in a family that listened to a lot of country music. So, like, in the car and stuff, it was always the country music station for like long trips, always country music. So I don't know, I think it's weird that I have like all this residual country music knowledge in the back of my mind, even though like I don't really listen to it anymore. I'll listen to some very rarely. I think some of it's like funny these days. If not just as an outlook, a look into southern or fake Southern America. I don't know. It's tragic, really, that sometimes I'll just, be going about my day and my brain will just go, live like you are dying. Tragic. See, high school was when I stopped listening to it, really. But also, I don't know, I went to a very big high school. They were definitely like, we had like the redneck kids, but they were definitely, the redneck kids were kind of, I don't know, they were kind of, they were not the cool kids. There were schools in our county where the redneck kids were the cool kids, but not at my school. And obviously I was very popular with my super hulock. And yes. Mm-hmm. Oh, I just got a notification. For those of you who don't know, I live in New York City, so I get all sorts of notifications about 500 demonstrators assembled in Greenwich Village. What was I talking about? Country music. What about it? Andrew, do not send a super chat. Yeah, well, I've been to the town you grew up in, Ray, and that doesn't surprise me. Nothing against it. Nothing against it. We're all valid. We are all God's children. I do get very nostalgic for country music sometimes, though, but it is always a bad idea to revisit. I mean, if you insist, it should be right under the chat, I think. I'm not even sure I have that kind of thing set up. I don't think I have it set up. The little AB channels like me don't have need for that quite yet. Also, I feel like corn in the field, I feel like cornfields have a lot of corn in them. in them. I feel like that wouldn't be hard to have more corn in the field than students in a school. Cornfields are pretty tightly packed. Ugh. Oh my god. He who walks behind the rose. Okay, so here's a funny story. Actually, I'm going to close out on this story because we're at about almost an hour and my throat's getting dry and I want another beer and I need to take a shower. Children of the Corn. I don't know how many of you have seen Children of the Corn, but when I was like 5, my dad had it on VHS. And all my cousins were over. I come from a very big, like, extended family, so it was a lot of kids. but at the time the oldest of us was like 8. And she was learning about Native Americans at school. And so we go down to the basement, and she picks up this VHS of Children of the Corn. And like, no, like half of us cannot read yet. And she picks it up, she looks at the cover. I don't know if you've ever seen the cover of Children of the Corn, like the old VHS, but it has like the guy with it's like a red background. He has like the scythe, and there's corn in front of him. And she's like, oh, this must be a movie about Native Americans. She didn't understand really how ratings worked. That like group of cousins grew up very sheltered. And so she's like, hey, everybody, all my cousins, all the children who are in kindergarten, come watch this cool movie about Native Americans that I found. So here's the thing about the movie Children of the Corn. It sucks. It's very bad. It's not scary. The graphics are very funny. The acting is very funny. The story is ridiculous. It's not a good movie. But the first scene in the movie takes place in a diner, and it's just carnage. Just gore, like people stuffing their hands in blenders and stuff. Like, disgusting. So that's the first 5 minutes of the movie, is like the only part that could probably actually be considered like scary. And of course, we pop it in, we start it, and we just freeze. We're all staring at this screen. We're like one by one going behind the couch. Like, we're like peeking around, like shitting our pants, literally, because we're babies. And we ended up having to send the youngest, who at the time was like a toddler, to go turn it off, because he was like too, like when kids are like too young to really understand what's going on. So he gets up and turns it off. And let me tell you, that same group of cousins grew up on a farm with like 100-acre farm with rows and rows of corn. I was so scared to go there since then. Like, the scene had nothing to do with the corn. But and also, like, they would always tell ghost stories. It was like a very old, like, pre-Civil War farmhouse. And they would always be like, oh yeah, my uncle would be like, they had 5 kids. My uncle would be like, oh, I was sitting in the living room and a little boy came down the stairs, and I was like, is that you, Billy? Which I shouldn't say his real name. Oh well. Is that you, such and such? And they wouldn't respond. And then I realized that wasn't one of mine. And that, like, I'm little. That would scare the crap out of me. And they told me Herman Monster lived in the cornfields, which was so scary. So that's one of my traumas. But the funny story, the funny part of that story is that when I grew up, like after I got married, I told David, I was like, I have been traumatized by this movie for my entire life. Like, when I was in high school, I found the VHS copy and like gave it away to somebody, like without asking my parents, because I was so scared just of like the physical VHS. I was a teenager and I was still terrified of this movie. And I was like, I need to face it. We need to watch this movie. So we watched this movie, and about halfway through, David just looks at me and he's like, this is what traumatized you? Because everyone should just go watch Children of the Corn. It is a riot. It is so stupid. And I felt so stupid afterwards. I was like, this has been like a piece of my trauma that's been following me around, is this stupid Stephen King movie that sucks. It's a bad movie. Anyways, Children of the Corn. I'll always have a bond with Children of the Corn. Alright. My throat's dry. I want a beer. I want to take a shower. Thanks everyone for coming. No, that was very funny, Rachel. That helped me discover that it was ridiculous. while we were reading the plot. Yeah, like I said, since I'm going back to uploading every other Friday, I'll probably be doing streams on the Fridays in between those, just to hang out. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. I did. This went better than I thought it would, despite it not going right at all. It worked out. I can talk forever about anything. Hyperfixations. Yay. All right. Bye.